All right, so let's jump right into it. Today's video is a little bit more serious because I really want to motivate you guys. Your life is not where you want it to be because you have not yet developed the right habits. That's why it's very difficult for a lot of people to change their lives, because what they really have to change are their habits. And there's no instant gratification in doing the daily things, like working a little bit longer on your passion project or waking up early so that you can go to the gym. So it is hard to stay incentivized. Ever notice when something bad happens to you and you say, oh man, I'm never gonna do that again? Like, let's say you make a mistake and you're like, I'm never gonna do that again. Don't you sometimes backslide into doing that same negative thing again? You wanna know the reason why you backslid into doing that negative thing again? You know why? It's because that short-lived impetus that, oh my God, I gotta stop doing this, that wasn't enough to really get you to break your habit. It was a one-time isolated incident, but a lot of times that's not enough to get your life in order. You know what I'm saying? It could be, let's say you're on a diet and you had a craving for whatever, a slice of pizza or a cheeseburger, and you went and gave into your cravings and you ate it, right? Or let's say you have an issue where you snap on people and you went off on someone. Or let's say sometimes you drank a little bit too much, right? And you know, you got sloppy drunk one time and you made some bad decisions. Yeah, and you regretted it the next morning, right? A lot of times just that, it's kind of like a flavor of the day type thing, you know? It's a short-lived feeling, you don't like the way it felt, but it didn't really have a lasting impact on you, strong enough to get you to change that actual habit. But a lot of times it takes several reoccurring negative events for you to finally say, you know what, I gotta get my life in order. You know what I'm saying? It takes the accumulation of all of these bad habits. When all these bad decisions accumulate and pile up into a big disaster, that's the point in your life where you finally say, you know what, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. The reason why is because when that bad thing happens so many times is when you finally sober up and you finally develop more of like an intellectual understanding of why you're doing this, instead of just like a surfacey, feelings-based, like knee-jerk reaction, like, oh, you know, I'll never do it again, or you know what, I gotta stop this. That's the same way that your habits change. When finally, gradually over time, you become more self-aware and gradually change your habits too. So it takes falling down a few times and having to get back up to actually change your habits. Habits typically do not change instantly. And it's only through that repetition and that self-awareness can you get to a point where you're changing your habits and then improving your life. So it's that self-awareness of your habits that brings about change, as opposed to a fleeting just reaction that, you know, kind of motivates you, a fleeting reaction that motivates you to change what you're doing, and that fleeting reaction just kind of dies over time. It might take you falling down a few times for you to finally realize that enough is enough. But I know you can do it. So they've studied some of the most successful people in the world, and they've realized that they all have one thing in common. They have habits that they have hardwired into their mind and hardwired into their behavior. And these aren't just things that they do sometimes. These aren't just fleeting things that are just flavor of the day for them. No, these are almost impulsive things that are mandatory and hardwired into who they are, and they do these things every day. These are things that are rooted in years of discipline. So things like waking up early, eating healthy food, avoiding gossip, avoiding negative people, reading books, getting enough sleep, working hard, aren't necessarily glamorous. And they don't necessarily give them that dopamine hit every single time. But the cumulative effect of all these things over a long period of time are what make these people highly effective and highly successful. And successful people are more interested in and feel more rewarded in the journey and staying disciplined rather than the destination. And that is what allows them to keep up their routine. And most importantly, these habits are things that these people would have most likely done, whether it made them successful or not. I'm going to say that again. Most likely, these habits are things that these people would have done regardless of whether it made them successful or not. Sometimes, honestly, they might have never even known that such a simple habit would have made them so successful. They were just doing what came naturally to them, or just doing what they thought was important because they had an interest, a passion, or some type of drive or motivation to do something because they just knew that it was right for them, it was the right thing to do, it was in line with their values, or it was just something that they loved. And for them, it was actually a little bit deeper than just getting the outcomes. It was deeper than discipline. It wasn't transactional. It wasn't, I'm gonna do this so that I can make more money. Or I'm gonna do this so that I can lose weight. Or I'm gonna do this so that people like me more. For them, it was more like, I'm gonna do this whether it works or not, because I just love doing this. Or I'm gonna do this because it fulfills me. Or I'm gonna do this because it's right for me. For them, the habit or routine was more important. The success was just a byproduct. It's only when you make the habit something that's part of you that the success just naturally comes as a byproduct. But I'm gonna be realistic with this piece of advice. I'm not here to sell you a dream. The reality is that not everyone is dealt the same hand in life. Not everyone who tries hard succeeds. And some people are born into very unfortunate circumstances. And some people work hard their entire lives. But despite this, they don't get too far. Now, I'm not able to predict the future for your life. But one thing that I can tell you is that not everyone who tries hard succeeds. But everyone who has ever succeeded is someone who's tried very hard. Hi. My name is Chukwunonso Captures, and I'm a photographer. My photography journey has brought me into the presence of some truly remarkable people. These people have taught me some extremely valuable and amazing life lessons, and I've had so many great epiphanies just through talking to them and sharing things with them. So I am paying it forward by sharing some of the things that I've learned. So let me know what you think. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you agree with some of the things that I've gathered throughout my life? Do you have any habits that have helped you become an effective person? Please share them in the comment section down below. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want to support this message, hit the bell button to get a notification anytime I post a new video, and share this with a friend who would like to understand more about forming the right habits and improving their life. All right, thanks. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.